Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2 from the ESL Pro Tour North American Weekly Open. #1 every single week. Players from all regions will be competing for prizes and ESL points to maybe get a better seed or a seed into those Masters events coming up during the Pro Tour. But we have an all-American match. Protoss versus Zerg. First in the top right from Storm Gaming. It is Silky. Fun name. And in the bottom left, one of the most creative Protoss out there, representing Root in the great state of North Dakota, which is always fun to bring up. It is Puck. So, Puck, well known as being one of the most exciting players to watch, have incredible games and then lose. We've seen that before so many times, partially because his plays are so strong, he sometimes outplays himself, which means saying strong is a questionable definition, but still. Silky, on the other hand, still looking for a breakout performance, but considered as, he's definitely in the top 5 North American Zergs. He's up there with players like Cham and Jon Snow. But slightly behind maybe Scarlet as possibly the #1 North American Zerg player. All right. Puck not opening up with anything. Now Puck's usual strats, and of course we're going to be staring at Puck most of the time. I don't think Silky is going to come out with anything that is going to break the meta right now. But Puck likes the mid-game. We're talking Colossus drop. We're talking like Mass Oracle Blinkstalker. We're talking Disruptors. Anything that has a serious potential to go horribly wrong, if mismicroed even a tiny margin, Puck is all about it. We're going to start with the Stargate, which is relatively standard, but opens up for almost anything else. The Stargate is the trunk, and then we can branch out from there into the tech tree. The Stargate allows you, 1, to defend against any early, like super early all-ins especially, but just early all-ins in general, because you have the tools like between Oracles, Void Rays, and even Phoenixes. They're all pretty good against any sort of early pressure. And also, you force a certain response out of the Zerg. If you have an Oracle or 2, they either have to commit heavily, build spores and extra queens, and commit to defense. Or they have to do some sort of all-in, which, once again, you can prepare for. Stargate unit, they fly, kind of by definition, which means they're solid for scouting. The only downside is you don't really have a ground presence for a while, though many players will. Now, Puck will be looking for the gases between 3:30 and 4 minutes. That usually indicates whether or not a player is really going to be going heavily into tech. They almost always are. Rarely do you see players follow it up with like a big charge lat all in. 2 adepts shading it. Oracle's going to follow up. So far, sticking to the script. Puck adding a robo and no other gates yet. I mean, gases, rather. Those adepts are shading back home. He's going to go for a 3rd before getting his gases, which is greedy in the sense he's not going to have another level of tech to defend. But if he keeps those Oracles close to the chest here, he can defend the 3rd relatively easily against a handful of Zerglings. Phoenix looking around. Silky he's defending Stargate, building a bunch of drones, some extra queens. Okay. Oracle looking for an opportunity, not finding any, not getting greedy on it. Just getting away with this 3rd base. Silky has yet to scout it. Anything, like, before 5 minutes is great. Like, this was almost before. I think it was just after 4 minutes, which, if Silky wanted that to be canceled or killed, he could have made it happen, assuming he scouted a little bit earlier. But because Puck got the base so quickly, it's now well defended. On top of the fact he stopped building probes. Well, Puck, really? But he's starting once again, but he wanted to make sure he got his gateway count up in order, well, either put on pressure or defend himself against roaches or zerglings or whatever. He's got charge on the way, immortals, but a lot of players, if you get too greedy and don't get the gates up, then it doesn't really matter how much money you get from another base if you can't spend it. Silky, though, true to form, sees the, he saw the third, right? Yeah. Sees the third. Drones, and then after that, more drones. That's the plan. Very conveniently going to see the timing of the lair finishing, which now you have kind of a timer. When can roach speed be? Swarm host nidus, stuff like that. Near perfect scouting. Now, this is possibly the most important thing to scout. Where is he building it? I don't see it. Do you guys see it? I mean, I could click on it, but the fact I can't see it is the real... Where is it? And that's the point. A hidden spire. He's trusting that Puck's scouting is so competent that the only way to avoid a spire being scouted. You ever notice the little pylon in the warp prism? So that's how they warp in. How do they fit that pylon in there? Why are the other pylons so large? Maybe that's why it costs more minerals. Anyways, that's a whole lot of charge lots. Veiling Nest not even close to done. Roach is being built. They don't have speed, which means charge lots can close the distance. Looking for the surround, all trying to get in on the action. Roach is kiting back. There's a few queens as well. Any upgrades? No, it's just the charge lots, but he's swarming them, and guess what? Immortals hit the deck and start slamming the point home. Drones have to be pulled. Another round of charge lots. He's literally just slicing through everything. 6 drones go down to start. Silky really desperately trying to stabilize. He finds a solid positioning here by the Roach Warren, but the Immortals are doing the deeps. He actually gets behind and triggers the barriers with drones, which is kind of a rare scenario. Meanwhile, Silky's drones are oh, what a block! He's using the stop position in order to zone out the charge lots, the costly Zerg force field, but that keeps Silky alive for now. The charge lot's looking for another base. They chop through more roaches. Immortals. Oh, a Mutalisk has arrived. This attack has gone on for a while. Oh, the juggling. A single Muta, but he's going to recall the Warp Prism. Are the charge lots enough to actually take down the base? He's not focus firing. So it looks like the charge lots just going to be splitting their damage. Silky, between the drone micro and the spire finishing, yeah, a bit of a mistake for Puck not focusing on the base. He may? No. Oh, missed opportunity there, unfortunately. A devastating attack, but the existence of a spire... Well, there is one Muta. He built one Mutalisk. This could be the most valuable Mutalisk in StarCraft history if it forces out all those Phoenixes and... Well, multiple Phoenixes were built. No cannons, because Puck felt comfortable enough defending at home. Alright. Puck not biting super hard on the Muta. It was, after all, just the one Muta. Silky bouncing back pretty quick, especially when you have a rich Vespine Geyser, which mines twice as fast. It's going to help. A few drones picked off. It's going to have to be resaturated, but... So, the one thing that Puck didn't have was army complexity, I guess. Like, an army that scales well. At some point, even if you have 50 charge lots, it's not going to cut it. Because Silky's going to have the counter. So you got to tech up. You got to build that next round of units that are actually going to bring you into a winning position. So Silky, because of that, has the opportunity to sit back and build up again. Puck has been on a comfortable economy, though. That's why he can kind of get every little bit of the tech tree here. Robobay is on the way. +1 attack just now starting. That's actually quite late. +2 melee, which means mainlings, 1-shot probes and 2-shot Templar is completing. Puck hasn't really made much of his position so far. He's actually looks like he's going to wait for Silky to attack into him. Corrosive Biles shot up. Will not find anything on the way down. Disruptors are on the way, though. And Ravagers, much like your mother, have a large hitbox. That means that disruptors... Disruptors can clip a whole bunch of them in a single shot. Disruptors are also pretty easy to counter, and like if he gets any vision of them before committing to an attack, Silky can tech up and just kind of contain. Disruptor's way better on defense than offense. Oh, but the first shot is fired. Decent, and now disruptors are revealed, but more are being pumped out. Meanwhile, charge lots sent across the map. A few towards the northern base. The forward base of Puck will be shut down. Any more disruptors on the high ground? There's still 2. They're cooling down. Silky responding. He will hold on to one base. Zergling's going to deal with the Zealots. Now, the Zerglings have +2. The Zealots don't have +1, which means the Zerglings will clean this up pretty easily. Hive Tech is on the way. 2 more Stargates as Puck realizes we might be going to the later game and wants to be able to deal with Broodlords or maybe just build carriers or something. Another Disruptor shot. Fishing. Finds a Creep Tumor. Banelings rolling forward. On Creep, they're going to close the distance way faster than a Disruptor could deal with. Another shot. Big hit on the center mass. Another one. Fade away. Meanwhile, a few Banelings to the south. 1 Zergling is spotted, and that could give away the whole gambit. Oh, Puck. 4 probes, 9 that's real damage. Left with 69 probes, which, nice enough, but... Oh, Disruptor shot. Everybody files back up the ramp. Unfortunately, they can't get out of each other's way in time. Puck kills everything at the Watchtower Scorched Earth Policy. More Banelings on the way. Exploratory Purification Nova. The tech tree is continuing to expand for both sides. Banelings coming in again, but Zealots will give themselves just like the Legacy of the Void trailer. Except this time they don't die. Those were some well-upgraded Banelings in the trailer, by the way. Another round coming in. This time, queued up a little bit more effectively. Greater Spire is on... Well, I forgot completely that the Spire's in the top left corner. I don't know if it'll ever be scouted and killed. What is happening? Oh my god. The Zealots. Let me out! The +1 air weapons will complete just barely. The Zerglings didn't have their adrenal glands. Or will it? Okay, yes. +1 air is done. But the Cyber Core is not long for this world. More Phoenixes on the way. He's actually going to continue going for the Phoenix Clump. Which is an interesting... How much... Huh. I don't know what the Phoenix is. I guess... Because Corruptors are out now. Obviously, the Spire was revealed from the one Mutalisk before. Silky now has... Oh, I thought they were Banelings. Has a pretty dangerous army heading towards the third. Oh, whoa! Where did all those Phoenixes? He's got 12 Phoenixes! I thought he had like 6 of them, and I bet Silky did as well. Like okay, a couple Phoenixes. He really leaned on it, and oh no, a Corrosive Vial evens the odds here. The Phoenixes will win the air war, but at what cost? This is a messy fight. Like, the Disruptors are hitting, Stasis Ward, half the army isn't even able to be hit. It looks like the Archons will save the day, but this Archon is really getting in the way of everything. What a mess. Disruptor shot comes through, finds a couple Ravagers. There's next to no anti-air unless he keeps eating Corrosive Bile. Eventually, the Broodlords will be taken down. Big Disruptor hit in the mix there. Another Disruptor is targeted down. Zerglings streaming in from absolutely everywhere. Puck desperately trying to hold. Corrosive Bile's hitting one of those Warpins. The Protoss forces are starting to crumble. There's still an Archon. The anti-air, the Corruptors are piling in. A couple Immortals at the back. Another Warpin canceled before it can complete. Silky is just leaning everything. He's throwing it all into the mix. And Puck just not able to bring his army to bear in a coherent manner. Oh, the Phoenixes are fighting. They have range now. They have +1. I don't know if they're working on +2. I think the Cyber Core died a while ago. Meanwhile, Archons growing in number. Silky continues to press forward. Corruptors dueling with the Phoenixes, but the Phoenixes and Archon should be enough. Broodlords raining down some more damage, almost killing the Immortals, but just not quite. Not really targeting the Brood yet, finally doing so. The Archons underneath the Brood Lords. Warp Prism uncontested as the Corruptors fight the Phoenixes. Puck holding the line for now. The Archon's doing enough, and the Raged Phoenixes will chase down the Corruptors that survived the battle. Storm just now starting, and Puck holds. But at what cost? Silky has 5 bases now. Puck lost the Rich Vespine. Now, it's not like Silky has incredible upgrades. He's got +2 melee, and that's it. So there's not, like, some ridiculous cost efficiency happening here. But, and Corruptors are, there's +1 in the air. He's rebuilding a Cybercore, which means finally air weapons. Mainly, well, it's like a mini game. Yep. Who would win, one Archon or half the Zerg army? What a dumb question. The Archon, not even going to lose most of its shields. A bunch of Ravagers showing up. This is not nearly as scary as the previous attack, especially if the Phoenixes get involved. Storm is going to be a big contribution to efficiency here. Looks like the Banelings did find their way, snuck past the Archon, get 7 kills. Puck's probe count is a little on the low side, 59. But the Phoenix count is growing again. +2 air weapons begin. Still no upgrades in the air for Silky. Important to note. He is kind of taking all of the bases. Oh, Ravager's caught and killed. Silky doesn't have, like, without the upgrades and the fact he's not maxed in banking, means that even though he's ahead on supply, he's got some map control, he doesn't, like, he's still trying to keep Puck from getting that maxed out army. Because a maxed out Immortals, Archons, Phoenixes, Storm, and also Storm, and did I mention Storm? That's a recipe. Well, Jimmy, check the forecast. Okay. Archon on patrol. Zergling's looking for an opportunity. Hold position on the probes. Actually going to eat them up pretty well. I guess only 2. I thought it was going to go a little better. The closer the armies get to maxed out, the better it is for Puck. Unless Silky ends up with a critical mass of Brood Corruptor. Because Phoenixes, yeah, 15 Phoenixes, but there are 10 Corruptors. He's got Vipers. Okay, I don't know why the Ravagers keep deciding like they're going to fight. Is he freeing up supply? Not really. The Ravagers are paying off, though. Like, I don't think Silky expected the Phoenixes to be this committed. Usually players would go like Void Rays or even Tempest at this stage. Puck is like, well, Phoenixes are more fun, and they're faster and shinier, and have a much greater potential to go horribly wrong. So, Phoenixes it is. Puck is moving out, clearing some creep. This army, enough. The Archons on their own are real danger. Okay, that's, well, it's a lot of lifting to be done here. Oh my god, 18 Phoenixes now. Zealots will be warped in. That cannon just evaporated. Meanwhile, the ground army Broodlords. Is there Neural Parasite? No. +1 air weapons is finishing up. Puck defended at home. The Phoenix is finding so much. Wow. Silky has lost 10,000 more resources, including 4,000 more gas almost. The cost efficiency here. It's looked real messy, but Silky keeps throwing like, well, that many how many Ravagers? 29 and 375 links. Parasitic Bomb finding some damage. Decent split out of Puck. Where is the ground army to support this? Where Storm's coming across the board. The Phoenixes will consolidate, and the Broodlords just kind of die. Like, if there aren't Corruptor Broodlord, there's nothing to really stop the Archons in the long run. The Zerglings are not going to cut it. Not the Broodlords, in such low numbers, are not going to cut it. Oh. 7 more broods on the way. Like you need double-digit brood lords. Jimmy? Excuse me. What the... I actually have no idea. What? Meanwhile, Puck is pushing across the map. Up 20 army supply. He's just kind of winning fights now. Ever since the chaotic fight at the 4th and or 5th base. Drone's done with this. Silky down to 154 supply. It kind of feels like Puck has won the war without ever winning a battle. Actually, he's won battles. That's inaccurate. But what are there? 9 Corruptors against 17 Phoenixes? There are 7 Brood Lords, which is not enough. The Phoenixes targeting Brood. Archons closing the distance. Storms across the board. And Puck wipes the skies and the floor. In game number 1, Silky taps it out. What a mess, by the way. What a mess. Between the disruptor, like I said, Puck is going to do whatever he can to make it the most complicated possible game. And disruptors, Phoenixes, Templar, charge lots everywhere. I don't know if there was Blink in there, but there was literally a point where an Archon was blocking half of his army from actually fighting, making it to even more complicated. I don't know. Anyways, game 2. On Simulacrum. Simulacrum. This map. This one right here. Anyways. ESL Pro Tour, North American Weekly, number 1. In the bottom right, Storm Gaming's Silky. In the top left is Puck, showing us how to be, well, don't try this at home, is the summary with that unit composition. If you're Silky, like, what went wrong for Silky that game? Well, the fact we gotta go back. I forgot completely about the charge loud attack. Silky should have died to that. Honestly, that attack was very well timed, and Silky had almost nothing at the start. The micro on the drones. You rarely say in this context, like, oh, the drone micro. But the drone micro was actually just good enough to keep him going. And then from there, he was able to claw his way back into, well, a decent position. He could have very well broken Puck. But Puck lands on his feet. Nothing. No, everybody's buildings are on their own side of the map to start, unfortunately. It looks like we're going to start off slow and steady. No proxy hatches or cannon rushes or all of those things. That's about it. That's most of the stuff you would do early. Overlord. Now, some players will send their Overlord just into the main. Some players will chill out at the natural for a while. We'll have to see. Looks like Silky's going to head straight in. Maybe I should give Puck his point on the board. There you go. The fact that Warp Gate is not being... Every once in a while you get a mind game, but Warp Gate not being researched is not a mistake to start here. It is intentional. Silky is watching for it. You can see when the building lights up. The Cybercore is a little subtle about it. But it essentially gives away a Stargate, because the Stargate is the most expensive tech build. Robo's 100, Twilight's 100. Stargate's 150, which means you just usually don't quite have the gas to get Stargate, Adept, and Warp Gate at the same time, and Warp Gate is the odd man out. So Zerg players have gotten good enough that, okay, wait a second, that they build a bunch of Zerglings and try to kill their opponent, and it looks like Puck is going to fall prey to that. Oh no. The probes trying to do some damage. Oh my god, it's a disaster. The Zerglings, they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. trying to wall off. He gets one pylon. Wait, there's still an Adept in the main. An Oracle is building. A little bit of extra attention paid. That Adept needs to live, but you also don't want to lose all of your probes. The Adept needs to live. It must live. Oh, the Protectorate of Probes. Oh my god, that Adept lived. That Adept. Oh, what a save. 10 kills. And counting. And an Oracle comes out. Oh, the hero. A recall. There was finally energy, but the Oracle is more than enough. The Cyber Core may fall, but there's already a wall behind it. The Adepts are chewing through. Yes, the Cyber Core falls, but there's an Oracle. Trying to go for, well, the shield batteries will finish. We'll have to reshield. Still 28 probes. The fact that Puck has only lost 4 probes is disgusting. And that Adept living. Oh, that Adept needs to back off. Oh, the hero. There goes my hero. Oh, well. The thing is, with those shield batteries done, will Puck cancel that? Yes. No Cyber Core, but, I mean, yeah. No, you're not getting through that. Silky he's building drones now, but 2 Oracles are heading across the map. So, Fleet Beacon? What? He's gonna go Mothership. It's 2 Oracles easily enough to target down some drones. A little bit of miss. Ooh. Don't really want to be losing one of those. But it's not the end of the world, because that defense was about as perfect as you could get, considering the Zerglings were already in the base. Obviously, you don't want to let the Zerglings in, but if they're already there, it doesn't get much better than that. I have no... Like, what is he going to do with the Fleet Beacon? Phoenix range? But there's only one Stargate. Mothership. Mothership is the only thing that makes sense. I know, it's weird to say. Mothership? He's restarting Warp Gate here. The Overlord's like, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. What are you doing? Cancel Warp Gate and go Mothership. Actually, I don't know about cancel. Oh my god. So, Puck has been like, alright, what is a high percentage play? Just a nice, safe transition after that early game defense. Yeah, we're going to get Mothership. Okay. I'm pretty sure that Silky... Well, Silky saw a Fleet Beacon and nothing was building out of the Stargate. Which... I mean... It seems like it should be a giveaway. He's building plenty of spores. He's taking this very seriously. You might just think it's Phoenix's. The Oracle's coming in, finding some more damage. Oh my god. Silky has built up a respectable drone count. You know, the lack of scouting for a third is really going to hurt. Like, the base is over halfway done. It's not... If the Lings had just been out here, there was only a handful of Zerglings. But it's already too late. He could have delayed this a significantly longer amount of time, but it ain't... well, that ship has sailed. Yeah, so the Overseer is going to come in. Mothership is a few seconds away. Yep, this is happening. Meanwhile, Mama's home. The thing is, it might seem like a meme, but the Mothership itself has a whole ton of HP. It's 350, 350. She's a big girl. And also, the threat of a total recall, or whatever they call it, I call it total recall, means you have to have units in almost everywhere at once. Like, we've seen it before. But A recall of sentries to the high ground means this could be the most advanced, like, oh, the stealthiest mothership in the history of StarCraft. Trying to bait things away. By the way, their muta's done. Oh my god. There's nothing in the main. Of course, there's not much creep spread after that. The War Prism just casually. Oh, and Silky, like, oh god! Oh no! Oh, golly gee! Oh, oh, even some probes. Like, we're not getting too picky. The muta's going to work. So, immediately a lair is rebuilt. Silky trying to figure out what in the hell to do. Good luck with that. I mean, there are spores, there's vision, Puck force fields. The Hydras and Lings trying to come back. They don't even have range yet. Gonna go right up. Oh my god, he's gonna build a Nexus. Build a Nexus in his main. There's no Ravager to break force field. I don't know what happened to the mutas. Where did the mutas go? The mutas are dead. I don't know how they died, but they're no longer here. He's building a Nexus. This is just to transport units from his main, of course. Puck is Mothership into Nexus. The double recall, the total recall build. And this is real damage. Like, how was Silky even supposed to reliably defend against this? You can't just keep units in your probes dying to banelings. Silky still has 72 drones. Some of them are locked into the main with the enemy. But there's some Hydras down here. But force field, there's nothing to break force field. They can shoot over the top, but they don't have much additional range. Another round of banelings is heading towards the third. Puck doesn't have a huge economy. The drones are trying to pull out of the main to draw some fire. Not doing an incredible job. Sentry's starting to run low on energy. The reinforcing Nexus. More probes will die, but 27 drones as well. They're both under 50 and plummeting. So, a disruptor is done. Puck can use the Nexus to recall a disruptor into his opponent's base. So, just when you thought it had already gotten big brain enough... by the way, he's long-distance mining, so that's happening. He's getting a second... he's definitely going to do it. Like, at this point, it's a matter of principle. You got to do it. Some Hydras are slithering across at very slow speeds. This is awkward. This just delays the threat. Meanwhile... Please recall. He's recalling to the Mothership. Okay. This way he can recall the Mothership out. What is he waiting for? He doesn't realize the Hydras are on the way across the map. But surprise, Silky! Disruptor! Oh, massive hit in the center mass, obliterating any defenses. There's almost nothing left force fields. But guess what? There's the shield batteries from earlier. He could just recall home if he really wanted to. Silky has to rebuild a spawning pool, which is never a great scenario to be in. Plenty of stalkers. Blink is completing. Silky has been bamboozled. Just a single G. Puck with the play. What a game. What? No, Jimmy. There. Bring the Terror music. Terror music is the best. But what a match. I thought game one was the game. Everybody's like, oh, game one was so sick. And then that happened. Well, if you enjoyed, if this ends up on YouTube, like very likely it will, like and subscribe and check out twitch.tv/Puck with 2 Ks. You unlock the description by liking, subscribing, and ringing the bell, of course. Everybody knows that. And if you're on Twitch, you're like, well, I don't know. I don't know where the bell is. Well, look again, because they added it to Twitch, because we're all sheep. But thank you to Puck for sending me those. And I hope you guys enjoyed the ESL Pro Tour North American Weekly #1. Thank you for watching.